What? Wait, I don't think they're ready for this.
These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Pull up on them and it look nice, look nice. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Pull up on them and it look nice, look nice.
Yeah, we look nice, future looking nice, we don't need to tell them twice.
We come the future.
Yeah, we look nice, future looking real nice, we don't need to tell them twice.
We come the future.
And a very happy new year to all our viewers on Network 10 and Paramount Plus. The pandemic is still with us, but the A-Leagues are nothing if not resilient, and we begin the 45th year of national competition in its various guises here in South Australia today. And out they come onto the pristine surface at Cooper Stadium, arguably the best football-specific ground in the country. 42 shots the Reds have had in their last 3 games, but all that has produced just the 1 goal. They've outpossessed, outpassed and outshot all their opponents, all for rather scant reward. Here's the team lineups. Carl Veert has made 3 changes as he looks for that elusive winning combination, although his hand has been forced with 2 of them. Ben Halloran is unfit, so in comes Bernardo for his starting debut. There's also a first start for George Blackwood in his second Red stint, as Mo Toure drops out after testing positive for COVID. And Ryan Kitto replaces Josh Cavallo at left-back. Jacob Trapp plays his 50th A-League men's game against his former club. And new signing Lockie Barr is on the bench. Now for Wellington Phoenix, there are 4 changes. Alex Paulson makes his first start between the posts, with Ollie Sale likely to be out for some time with that hip flexor problem. James McGarry returns at left back after missing the last 2 with a knee injury. Callan Elliott replaces Louis Fenton at right back. And 19-year-old Ben Old gets his 3rd start with Reno Piscopo absent. Gary Hooper, of course, still unavailable. And New Mexican signing Gail Sunderval not eligible for another fortnight. So the countdown to kick-off is on. Referee tonight, Daniel Elder. He was here for that round 2 gripping encounter between the Reds and Melbourne City, and a blast on his whistle gets us underway. And just talking to the officials, Andy, Kurt Ams is the man between the 2 coaches tonight, the 4th official. He was the ref that blew the whistle too early to deny Ben Halloran a goal for the Reds against Western United a week or so back. You might fancy that Carl Veert could be in his ear tonight.
Well, I just wonder if in welcoming him to the ground, Carl asked him if a New Year's resolution was to let the play run.
Quite possibly. Now, this should be a fascinating clash between these 2 teams who've struggled for form of late. Floated forward by Tim Payne, continuing in that central defensive role, but an easy gather for James Delianov, who's looking to keep just his 2nd clean sheet of the season this evening. Head-to-head in the series between these 2, Adelaide United well in front. But intriguingly, Harps, the last 6 meetings, Adelaide have won just 1 of the previous 6, so it's not quite been so one-sided as the history books would suggest.
No, and that coincides completely, I'd say, with the tenure of Ufuk Talay. Mark Rudin played his big part, of course, leading Wellington on the major turnaround, and Talay has been sensational since taking over, and Adelaide have found it difficult against them since.
Touch by Isaias. As we spoke in the pre-game show, really it's the responsibility of some of the senior players to try and drag the Reds out of this early season malaise, but they have been here before. There is one of those experienced pros, Craig Goodwin, who's got a whack to the face. And perhaps unsurprising that Craig Goodwin has been slow to start the season. He only had a mini pre-season due to injury, had ankle surgery, of course. Turned back by Kitto. Jakobsen gets the return from Isaias. Reds looking to get their passing sequences going, but it breaks down around George Blackwood. Should be a comfortable enough clearance for Josh Laws. Sotirio unable to make it stick. determined play from Kitto. And the Reds could have a promising situation brewing. Gets Goodwin into the near post, and Mort got a little piece of it. Swept away by McGarry for now. And appeals for handball. Quite strident once too. They might have a look at that with VAR. Daniel Elder waves away those appeals for now.
A brilliant chance for Stephen Moore, because it's fallen to him. He can't give handball for that. It does make contact with the hand, but zero opportunity to get the arms out of the way. And as it then falls to Stephen Moore, it's a brilliant chance early.
Carl Viet, the Reds coach. He and Ufuk Talay had some epic battles, didn't they, in the early years of the A-League men's competition. Viet representing the Reds, and Ufuk Talay then in the sky blue of Sydney FC. Intriguingly, Carl Viet yet to beat Ufuk Talay in terms of the technical zones. 1 win and 2 draws for the next coach between the two. This is Javi Lopez making unchecked progress. Decent ball into. And George Blackwood was looking to get on the end of it. Well defended in the end by the Knicks.
In the end, yes, Simon, but they conceded needlessly so much territory down the near touchline. David Ball was sort of chasing, but not really interested. Clayton Lewis was easy to get rid of, and before he knows it, he's got a great opportunity to deliver into the danger zone. Blackwood appreciates the effort, and it was because of Tim Payne that Wellington aren't embarrassed.
There's the young debutants, or at least starting debutants. Bernardo played 4 games off the bench. He, along with the rest, waiting for Craig Goodwin's delivery. Decent header away by Josh Laws, but danger not completely cleared for the Knicks. Slung in by Kitto, deflected. Craig Goodwin has that first goal of the season. He was the top scorer last campaign. And George Blackwood is claiming the final touch. And the Reds have the early advantage. 7 minutes played.
Well, a very sleepy start. 6 minutes for Wellington. Ufuk Talay not happy, but great stuff for Adelaide. And it's the man about whom we've been talking, Craig Goodwin, with the meaningful touch. George Blackwood is going to claim it. There'll be a stink in the dressing room over that.
Inside.
Kwande. Jakobsen angles it beautifully out towards Ryan Kitto, who's got away from his man and crosses beautifully, but just a trifle too high for Mork, who will pick up the scraps. Still Stephen Mork, and Alex Paulson with a fine save away to his left to palm it behind for the corner.
Yeah, good action from the young keeper. Not 100% convinced it was actually going to sneak inside that post.
I have a feeling you might have been right, might just have been snaking wide, but goalkeeper made sure. Here's a chance for Ryan Kitto, long way out. Came off Payne, I think. Another corner.
Well, Tim Payne is sensing what we've been watching, and that is that as a collective slow out of the blocks tonight, Wellington. He the exception. Adelaide looking good to double their lead.
Well, they need a leader. Wellington, and Tim Payne is trying to assume that mantle. Another corner for them to defend. Goodwin, and nodded on by Jakobsen, who has only ever scored 1 goal for the Reds. That was against Perth back in 2020. Tratt. And Lopez. Bernardo. He's not frightened to take players on, and he was just clipped there by McGarry. Free kick.
Well, this is the sign of Bernardo, signs that we've seen in his nascent A-League men's career.
Craig Goodwin making sure that the ball is correctly spotted. Not that there's a bad patch of grass on this Cooper Stadium surface. He'll try and bend it in at that near post. Yep, he's going for it. Thought he might do. Paulson had the angles covered.
Yeah, good contact from Goodwin, but the keeper very comfortably positioned.
It's a good win by one day, leaving Ben Olds trailing in his wake and filing on the deck as well. Pushed out in front of Goodwin by Kitto. And the cross was behind the runners, allowing McGarry to scoop his header away. They'll set it up again though. In behind is Kitto, and it was Blackwood at the near post. They get a corner, it might have been more for the Reds.
Got a very, very good 6-yard box defending from Wellington, and that needed to be. Great combination down the left between Goodwin and Kitto.
Adelaide's fourth corner of the game, which Goodwin will deliver. And attacking at that back post was Jacob Tratt and Stefan Mork. On the volley at the back post. Difficult to control, put it wide. That early dominance for the Reds, underlined by the fact they've had 11 shots so far. We've not even played half an hour yet. 4 of them on target. Wellington yet to trouble James Delianoff. Maybe they'll do so here. David Ball with McGarry on the left. I think he was trying to do the little stand on the ball and take it with the standing foot and get past the defender that way. Still a chance for them. In by Sotirio towards the near post, and Dan Wayne has fouled James Delianoff, who looks to be in some discomfort, connected with the arm. And goalkeepers don't normally stay down if there's not good reason, and he looks to be in a fair bit of discomfort.
He did get caught by Wayne. There's a beautiful pass through for Ball. Look at this. Look at the eyes. Threads the needle. Sotirio with great acceleration rounds the ball up. And he was caught by Wayne, who was legitimately trying to get to the ball. But he's come off second best physically and now has to leave the field. Very disappointing for him. Great opportunity for Hall. And you'd have to say, a great opportunity for Wellington as well to have an untested keeper now.
He'll be replaced by number 15, Stephen Hall.
So it's an A-League men's debut for the teenager. Stephen Hall gets a few last-minute words of advice from Ross Aloisi. There's Redwig Steve. Good to see him back in the stands after his recent issues. Had a little spell in hospital. We send our good wishes to him. It's good to see that wig back. And young Stephen Hall is going to need all that encouragement from behind the goal from the Red Army.
Well, he's got good experience in front of him, in particular Jakobsen, so that will help. But the back four now have to really step up, take the pressure off the youngster as best they can.
Here's Kitto. Get away from one defender and slides it into the path of Goodwin, who will tee up Isaias. Oh, that was travelling from the Spaniard.
Wow, well, it really shouldn't have ended up with Isaias because Craig Goodwin was shaping to shoot, but he couldn't set himself up. His touch not good enough.
Bernardo losing out to Ball. McGarry almost turned into trouble. Managed to readjust, but he's turned it over for Goodwin. Here's Stefan Mork, and it's beaten away by Paulson. Still alive for Kitto. Now Bernardo in the box. And they've delayed too long, the Reds. And Wellington survive. Good save by the young goalkeeper. Kitto. All through the legs of the defender. Ryan Kitto almost had too much time. And in the end, Paulson made the stop with the feet.
Well, he deserves either a goal or a clear assist, Ryan Kitto. It's been an excellent first half for him.
Pressure building on the Phoenix. They've got to try and see it through to half-time. Goodwin angles the corner back to Kitto. Just took his eye off it for a moment. Back for Goodwin. Kitto. Goodwin has Mork available. And they use it well. Oh, could have been two again. Craig Goodwin just lifted his shot over the top of the crossbar.
Well, the chances, really good chances, just keep racking up. He was heavily responsible for the first goal.
And that is half-time. 16 shots from Adelaide United, but just the one goal as a reward, scored by George Blackwood, the first of his second spell with the club. It's been almost total dominance. They might have had 2 or 3 more in truth. Fair bit to do again for Wellington at the break at Cooper Stadium. It's Adelaide United 1, Wellington Phoenix 0. One of the substitutes, Oscar van Hattem. Very famous surname in New Zealand football history. Frank van Hattem was the goalkeeper for the All Whites at the 1982 World Cup. Played against Brazil, and Oscar is his nephew, just 19 years of age. So he is one of the changes. We'll update you on the others in just a moment. Lewis losing out in midfield and then trying to retrieve his ground. He took out Stefan Mork, and he's going to earn the game's first yellow card. It was pretty much odds on, Andy Harper, that it was going to be one of those two to get the first yellow ticket.
Yeah, he's been a frustrated individual. I share some sympathy with him. I don't know quite there's a free kick in that either, really.
Why does he think that's a yellow?
And he picks up a yellow for it. I don't know, at any rate.
Stops the promising attack. We have 4 defenders in the back line. So with 4 players in the back line.
What it was for, that's what it's for.
So there are 4 players in the back line. It's a promising attack.
Here we go. It's pretty much a one-way discussion, but Tale determined to have his say. Here's Juande looking to lift the ball into the penalty area. Partly cleared by McGarry, reset through Craig Goodwin. Information that Josh Sotirio has made way, and we've also seen the arrival of Nick Pennington for Callan Elliott.
He didn't even put his flag up.
So a double change for Wellington Phoenix, whose coach is still going at the officials. Free kick, this time for a foul on McGarry. So he is back with us. Assistant referees don't get a lot of kudos, but I think we give that shout out to Matt Cream. He's been one of Australia's best for many, many years in that particular job. He'll be keeping a watchful eye on offside for this free kick, which is easily dealt with by the Reds, and Craig Goodwin first to react. It's a bit of a stretch for Kitto. Coming together just inside the penalty area. Daniel Elder says nothing doing. A bit more attacking intent here by the Phoenix. McGarry within shooting range. Reds got bodies in front of the ball. Now Bernardo to try and carry it forward on. The challenge has been missed by Tim Payne. He's quickly back goal side. And then down goes Blackwood in the box, but never really a suggestion that Daniel Elder was going to point to the spot. They just want to have another look at this.
Yeah, there's no contact on the ball.
Does he make enough contact with Blackwood?
Daniel, have they looked at the other one? Have they looked at this one, Daniel? Oh,
Yeah. Daniel Elder wants to come and have another look at this, which could spell big, big trouble for Wellington Phoenix. It's getting pretty heated on the sidelines. I think that would be harsh, but
I think it would be harsh as well.
which is a penalty. Well, there you go. have to say I'm a little bit surprised by that. Penalty is the verdict after a VAR review. And it's Craig Goodwin against young Alex Paulson. And Goodwin sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Has his first goal of the season. Assist for the first goal, scores the second. And the Reds are almost there, you'd think, for the 3 points. Angle ball by Isaias. Bernardo, that's going to be a penalty. That's as clear as day. James McGarry, and the Reds will have a second chance from the spot. Similar sort of run up. Opposite side, same result. 3-0 and a brace for Craig Goodwin.
Well, it's a 3-goal lead, good enough to really catapult Adelaide's season. Is it good enough? A Craig Goodwin brace to really get him going. I know one thing's for sure on the Harvey Norman replay. We'll be enjoying watching the career grow of Bernardo.
And he's found the gap for Goodwin on a hat-trick, squares it up instead. And the block made by Tim Payne to deny Stephen Moore. Can Adelaide a fourth? They still might get it. They do now. On the volley, Javi Lopez seals the deal. 4-0 for the Reds. And Wellington are again on the end of a bit of a pasting.
Great touch on the cross. Definitive finish. 4-0 for Adelaide. Great tonic for the Reds.
Here's Goodwin. It's a cherry on top for the Reds. Not on that occasion. Dying embers of a very professional performance by Adelaide United. And there we go. At the sixth time of asking, the Reds are finally on the board with their first win of the campaign. They did it with a rookie goalkeeper between the posts for much of the match as well. But they were too good. 2 goals for Craig Goodwin, both from the spot. Before that, he helped tee up George Blackwood, who got the opener on 7 minutes. Javi Lopez, with his first goal in 8 years, set the seal on a convincing display. It's their 100th win in the A-League men's competition at Cooper Stadium, but it is a 3rd consecutive defeat for Wellington Phoenix, whose early season promise has faded. Adelaide, though, won't care. New year, new optimism for those in red. Final score at Cooper Stadium, Adelaide United 4, Wellington Phoenix 0.